Hey, what's going on, guys? So, all I want to do today is it's going to be a quick video, and I wanted to make just a quick discussion, man, about a concept that came from a guru that I was watching on YouTube, man. And it gave me something to really think about. It was something I heard a little while ago, but something that once I've had time to really sit and process it, it's been something that I've really tried to apply in a practical way to my own life, And it's the reality, man, that a lot of us live like we're immortal. And by that, man, like it's not to say that people have this idea that they're like a superhero or something like that, right? Like they have the stones and stuff, and that they're gonna combine them all together. Then like I'm gonna live forever. Like most of us aren't that delusional, right? But what he's referring to is that we have a tendency to waste a lot of time. That we involve ourselves with people that we may not necessarily care for, in activities that don't fulfill us, in hobbies and just things that we don't enjoy or that just waste our time. And he goes on to discuss just how when you've truly come to grips, or you've truly had the realization that you don't live forever, it completely changes the way that you interface with the world. Like it completely changed the way that you carry yourself and the way that you do things. Because I think there's a difference, right, between like understanding that you don't live forever, but then really like coming to grips with the fact that like your time's limited, like we're not promised tomorrow. Anything could happen, like while I'm doing this video per se, like I could have a stroke and just keel over and die, like my heart could clog. And it was something that I touched on in a previous video a little bit, but not to this extent. Like just the reality, man, that not to depress anybody or make anybody sad, or just, it's not about that, I think it's more about the fact that once you have this in your head, you use your energies in a more purposeful and concentrated way. You when you truly have this realization, when you understand that your time is limited, that you're not here forever, and that you only have a certain amount of time to get the things that you want to done, or certain amount of time to realize or like fulfill obligations that mean something to you, then you structure your entire being and personality even in a different way. You don't have time to waste anymore. When you're not going to just be working some job that you absolutely hate with no other things in the works, like, because you realize that like if this is all that you're going to do, then the time's wasted. Like you've wasted those years, those hours, and this isn't to say, man, that it's a bad, like there's practical realities of living in our society, right? We live in a society. There's practical things that we all have to accept, that like we need a job because we have to be able to get food, put a roof over our heads, eat, and things like that. It's not to say that like working at like a job that you may not necessarily love is a bad thing, or that people should be looked down on for that. No, like it's more just saying that when you realize how limited your time is, when you realize that you are not going to be here forever, that you are not an immortal creature, then even if you stay doing the same things, the way that you carry yourself and the effort that you put in is going to be different. Like you're going to carry yourself in a way where I'm going to give this thing that I'm concentrating on my best effort. I'm going to go at it to my fullest extent. I'm going to concentrate fully into this. I'm going to give myself to it because there is nothing else, and when you realize that your time is limited, you start to say, well, if I'm not enjoying this, how can I set myself up to be in a situation where I am doing something that I enjoy? Like how do I go from doing this thing that I hate into transforming my life into something that I do care about. You know, is that going to mean going back to school? Is that going to mean picking up a trade? Is that going to mean taking a certain amount of time out each night to work on this project that I've been neglecting? You know, it's not to say that there's any one path to it. It's more about the fact that when you have this awakening to that reality, that you put your energies into full drive. You know, you put your thoughts and your well-being and like everything that you are into making every moment something that's going to count. And I think that, to me, when I think of somebody that's like an enlightened being, you know, because we all like, what's popular right now is like, my third eye's open. Like everybody we talk a lot about just like the internal awakening. Like it's been one of those things in popular culture that's become like almost meme worthy at this point. But to me, when I think of somebody that's like been enlightened, like to me, it's somebody that's become aware, you know, and they're fully aware in every moment. Like they never go into autopilot, right? Like they never allow the events that are taking place around them to like, they're never just reactive, you know. They respond, and they respond to things rather than react to things, you know. Like their thought process and their behaviors are done in a concentrated and a just purposeful manner. That's what it was looking for. Purpose. It's in a purposeful manner rather than just like some instinctual, automated, off the cuff response to something, whether that be to something that would make you angry, sad, potentially frustrating. We all come up on these situations every day, you know. I don't think the measure of someone is like making it so your life doesn't have these things anymore, because one, I don't think that's realistic, and two, how are you going to be like a role model or somebody to look up to if you haven't met these challenges? You know, like if you aren't somebody that's ever dealt with hardship, then how can you lead others or be an example to others? So I don't think that's necessarily the goal. I think it's to be someone who does have all these things going on around them, yet they're still able to be purposeful, kind, and empathetic in every moment. To me, I think that's the biggest thing that we can accomplish. So that's kind of just what I want to talk about, man. I just want to go into a little bit of my thoughts on that, man, and just say that, just talk about the importance of this moment, man, like of right now, you know, like the importance of being present in your life rather than letting it be automated or just kind of letting the wind blow and guide you in whatever direction. Because an old adage I heard, man, that stuck with me, that said that if like, well, it was to give an example of like, I think it's an old African proverb that said, if a dog goes down the street and barks back at every dog that's barking back at him, then they're never going to make it to their destination. And I thought that was great, man, because there's so many distractions in life, right? There's so many things that could potentially knock you off course, and so many things that could push you into a spot that you don't want to be in. That little proverb right there, it just goes perfectly along with just the importance of awareness and being here right now, you know, realizing that you're not immortal, that your time's not unlimited. So do the things that you want to right now, you know, like do them while you can, because things aren't promised. So with that being said, man, I hope you guys are all good out there. It's always good talking to you, and just in the comments and stuff, just respond to me, man. Let me know how things are going for you, like how you felt about that talk, and just, I'm looking forward to just hearing back from you, man. As always, in the description, you can find different ways to support the channel. That's always sincerely appreciated, man. And I thank you guys for taking the time to listen to me. So I'll talk to you guys here soon, and be safe out there.